Today, we are making really fucking good fish and chips, and I'm gonna show you what makes them so fucking good to begin with. They are golden brown, crispy, super fragrant, and they're an absolute crowd pleaser. I serve them on all of my menus. Let's get making these things. Get batter. Up. Now, I learned this recipe from the big man himself, the only British chef I've ever worked for, Gordon Ramsay. And literally this recipe is so good. I've had it on pretty much every one of my restaurants, bars, menus since I've opened them. I use haddock, which is a smaller filet. It's about 8 to 10 ounces. What I like about the haddock is it's thinner, it has a bigger plate presentation, but by all means, you could use cod, scrod. I've seen halibut done. Now, when you're working with a white fish, such as haddock, there's a lot of water inside of that. Yes, I said water. So we want to kind of cure that a little bit, and all we're gonna do to do that is a little bit of salt, just like a generous seasoning, as if you're gonna cook it or serve it. What this is gonna do is it's gonna suck some of that moisture out. You see, when you're frying fish, moisture is your enemy. You want the batter to stay nice and snug against the flesh of the meat. When it goes in the hot oil, you want that batter to cook, crisp up, and adhere to the skin. If there's a lot of moisture inside of the fish, that's gonna steam and blow your batter off. So before you do anything, you wanna give your fish about 10 to 15 minutes just to draw some of that moisture out. So anyway, it's salted. I'm gonna throw it over here for a little bit. All right, to get this batter cranking, I'm gonna give you guys another really cool trick that makes this whole thing work really well. And again, I'll put the amounts to the ingredients in the caption in this video. But we're gonna start with some flour, all-purpose, baking powder, not soda, baking powder, a little bit of sea salt. Now, a lot of controversy. I would say 1 out of about every 100 guests flips the out because yes, we put curry powder in our fish and chip batter. Why? Because it tastes amazing. That's why. And it has a beautiful color. It's fragrant when you fry it. The spices, they toast up, and it's delicious. If you like curry, most people like it. A lot of people don't even know they like curry until they had this. And then some people just bug the out. Get over it. Now, I'm gonna mix my dry ingredients together first. Now, typically, your beer batter, you think it's just, flour and beer, which I have from Asbury Park Brewing, Sea Dragon. This is also on tap at my bar. But what's really gonna make this recipe awesome and work and kind of hit it out of the park is I'm gonna add vodka. The reason I'm gonna add vodka is the high alcohol content. When that hits the fryer oil, it explodes and it makes like these air pockets and a super crispy texture inside of your batter. So in goes my vodka. So beer and vodka batter. Now, you want to give this time to rest. You want to let the gluten react. You want the gluten to relax, and you want it to hydrate. You can make this batter a few hours beforehand. We've used it for a day or so at the restaurants, but once you start getting over that, it really it doesn't have the same zing. But by all means, go ahead and make it ahead of time. Making it earlier than at the last minute is better. It looks really tight to me, and this is just part of cooking, so I'm gonna thin this out with some water. So I've let my batter relax a little bit, like I said, and rest, and I had to make a little adjustment, a little bit more water to the pan, but you basically want it slightly exactly resembling pancake batter, okay? That's it, so we're good to go there. Set that off to the side. I got my flour. Now let's check out our fish. So as you can see, how all that the moisture and water is pulling out of the haddock. So we're good to go. And the fish is now seasoned as well, meaning I don't have to add any more salt to it, but I allowed that to pull out. Now, just by looking at my pan, I've decided what I want to do is I want to give this a little trim. It's a little too big for that pan. Let's talk about oil. So in my wok over here, I have heated some avocado oil. You can use avocado oil, grapeseed oil, beef fat, if that's what you're into. Really what you're looking for is a high smoke point. I think the ideal fat in this case, and I say it a lot in my other videos, is avocado oil. All I'm gonna do now is lightly dredge these in flour. The flour is what's gonna let the batter stick to your fish. This batter also works for shrimp. It works for scallops, pretty much anything you can imagine beer battering. It's great for tacos too. I'll take this same fish and cut it a little bit smaller and make tacos with it. All right. Now, a home fryer situation, you know, you really are kind of guessing what you're going to be frying at. Well, you want to fry it around 350. So I set my induction burner to 400 because once I add this to the fat, it is going to cool down. Now I just want a thin coat of the batter on my fish. Too thick, it gets almost cakey and then it's raw on the inside. So you just want a nice thin amount. Okay. Lay it right in the pan. You can see it's like souffleing up, exactly what I want. You can baste a little bit on top too. This will help set the batter on the top. I can already tell, you got batter. Psh. Doing exactly what I wanted it to do. What I also like about the haddock is it's thinner than, you know, say halibut or a bigger piece of cod or something of that nature. So it allows the fish to cook quicker. So you get a nice, beautiful golden brown crust on the exterior, and the fish is still perfectly moist and juicy and tender on the inside. Total cooking time about 4 to 6 minutes. Woo-wee! All right, there you go, my 2 beautiful portions of haddock. It's a little dark there where it was touching the bottom of the pan. That's okay. Judgment-free zone here. Now, as soon as it comes out of the hot tub, I want to hit it with a little bit of sea salt, okay? Boom. All right, so now I'm going to let these rest on a rack. Ideally, you would have one of these in your arsenal of cooking tools. Really what that's going to allow is for air to circulate around the crust. If you set it directly on like a plate, what's going to happen is it's going to steam and you're going to lose that crispiness on where it's having contact with the pan. So really you want to get yourself a nice resting rack. And I'm going to let those hang out while I get my plate ready. Now you could serve these with homemade French fries, a salad, like I said, some mashed potatoes even, but today I'm just going to get after it as is. This is my favorite part right on the end there. Look at that. That's what we want. Beautiful thin layer of crust. The fish is beautifully cooked. Oh, f me up. So good. God, how good this is. Ah, very hot. Good.